The stars stretched endlessly across the dark. Cold and silent, they watched over the ship moving through space like a lone insect crawling across glass. This was the Vigilant Star, a mid-size Imperial scout vessel built for long-range patrol and fast response missions. It had faced pirates, solar storms, and sensor ghosts. But this mission was different. Captain Jack Voss stood alone on the bridge, staring out the viewing panel. The silence of space didn't bother him. It was the silence from Imperial Command that did. They'd given him a mission, but not much else. Unidentified signal. Andros sector, coordinates sent. Investigate and report. Do not engage. That was it. No briefing, no background, just an order. Jack had followed worse commands in the past, but this one felt off. Orders usually came with context, especially when the ship was being sent beyond the Empire's outer patrol line into deep space, where only research probes and the occasional fool dared to go. Behind him, the soft hum of the bridge systems filled the room. The crew spoke in quiet voices, eyes focused on their displays. They felt it too, the tension, the uncertainty. Something was waiting out there. "Captain," said Lieutenant Hara, his communication officer, breaking the silence. "Signal is constant, sir. Still pulsing. 5-second intervals. Range estimate 0.6 light-years. Still no match in the archives." Jack asked. "Not turning." "None," Hara said. "It's not coded. It's organic sounding, but also synthetic. We've never heard anything like it." Jack nodded slowly. He had served in the Imperial Navy for over a decade. He'd heard pirate jammers, rebel distress calls, alien dialects, and static storms that sounded like screams. But this signal, even distorted by distance, felt unnatural, like it wasn't just trying to be heard. It was calling. He tapped the edge of the console with his fingers, thinking. "Maintain course," he said finally. "Slow approach. I want full scans every 10 minutes. "Aye, sir." He left the bridge, walking through the narrow steel corridors toward his quarters. The ship vibrated faintly beneath his boots, a constant familiar rhythm, but tonight it didn't feel routine. It felt like they were walking into something that didn't want to be found. Inside his cabin, he sat at the small desk and opened the mission file again. Just coordinates and the signal data. No sender, no analysis, nothing. He played the signal one more time. It was a low hum rising and falling, then a sharp, echo-like pulse, then silence. It repeated every 5 seconds. No language, no modulation, just presence. Jack frowned. Signals meant senders, machines, civilizations. Someone or something was trying to be heard. But the Empire was acting like it didn't want the truth. Why send only one scout ship? Why no escort? Why no escort? Why no backup plan? He looked out his small window. The stars didn't answer. The next morning, as the Vigilant Star neared the coordinates, the signal grew stronger and stranger. At 0400 ship time, sensors picked up brief distortions in local space, tiny ripples, like something enormous had passed through, but left no trace. By 0600, 3 crew members reported headaches and flashes of light in their vision. Medical scans found nothing wrong. Jack stood once again on the bridge, eyes on the main screen. A cold feeling spread through his chest. Not fear, not yet, but something close. "Sir," said Hara again, voice lower this time. "Signal is changing. It's syncing with our system clock." Jack turned, now fully alert. "What?" She nodded. "Every 5 seconds, exactly on the dot, as if it knows our time system." That wasn't happening before. The bridge fell silent. Jack took a breath and said, "Bring us to a full stop. Send out a wideband hail. I want to see if anything answers." No one moved for a moment. Then the crew sprang into action. The message was sent. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. No reply. Just the signal, still pulsing. Louder now. Clearer. Jack stared at it on the screen. A living heartbeat in the darkness. Something out there was waiting. The Vigilant Star hung in open space like a shadow against black glass. All engines were silent now, running only at minimum power. The crew stood at their stations, eyes fixed on sensors and screens. Captain Jack Voss sat in the command chair, hands clenched around the arms. He didn't like waiting, but rushing in without understanding the signal could be worse. "Captain," said Lieutenant Hara, her voice tight, "we're within 200,000 kilometers of the signal origin. Anything visible?" "Negative," replied Ensign Rourke from navigation. "No ships, no structures, just empty space." Jack frowned. "What about the signal?" "It's coming from that exact point," Hara said. "But there's nothing there. No energy readings, no mass, no movement. It's like something is there but we can't see it." Jack stood and walked closer to the main view screen. Space looked normal, just a field of distant stars and a faint purple nebula far off to port. "Run a deep scan. Full spectrum. I want to know what's hiding in the dark." As the scan processed, the crew waited in tense silence. Then, without warning, every light on the ship flickered. The humming of the ship's systems dropped to a low, stuttering growl. "Power fluctuation," shouted Chief Engineer Sora over comms. "All systems are resetting, manually or otherwise, I can't tell." "Status report," Jack barked. "Shields down, comms are scrambled, engines offline for 15 seconds, said Hara quickly. On the screen, something appeared. Not a flash, not a jump. It was just there. One moment, space was empty. The next, an enormous object stood in front of them, blacker than the void around it. Not just a ship, it was something else, shaped like a crescent, the size of a city. Its surface shimmered like wet stone. No lights, no movement, no visible engines or windows. Everyone stared in silence. Jack stepped forward. "Scan it." Hara's hands trembled slightly on the console. "I'm trying. It's absorbing all signals. Radar, LiDAR, even passive thermal. It's like it's eating the data. Any transmissions from it? No, it's completely silent." Jack took a slow breath. "Open a channel. All frequencies." She nodded and activated the broadcast. "This is Captain Jack Voss of the Imperial scout ship Vigilant Star," he said. Voice calm. "We come on orders from Central Command. If you can hear this, respond." Silence. Then all at once, every screen on the bridge went black. A single word appeared in glowing white text. EHOA sharp ringing filled the air. Several crew members clutched their heads in pain. Jack shouted, "Shut it down." Then, just as suddenly as it started, everything returned to normal. The ship lights brightened, screens rebooted, systems stabilized. But the black ship outside was gone. "Where did it go?" Jack asked. "Vanished," said Rourke, voice shaking. 1 second it was there. The next, nothing. Sensors didn't even pick up movement. It just disappeared. "Sir," Hara added, "I've checked the logs. That interference, it didn't come from the ship. It came from inside our systems, as if something got in." Jack didn't answer. He walked to the window and stared at the place where the black ship had been. They had seen it, felt it. It had touched their systems, their minds. It was real. It had shown itself. And now it was gone again. "What's our status?" he asked. Finally. "Systems stable," said Sora from engineering. "No damage, but we're not alone." "What do you mean?" She hesitated. "Something is still running in the background. Some code that wasn't here before. Not harmful. Just watching." A quiet chill filled the bridge. Jack turned back to his crew. "Log everything. Keep the ship locked down. No outside transmissions until I say so." He paused, then added, "And keep listening. Whatever that was, it wanted us to know it's out there." The crew obeyed, silently. Jack sat back in his chair, mind racing. They had come for a signal. They had found a ghost, and now the ghost was inside the machine. The mood aboard the Vigilant Star had changed. The crew no longer moved with routine discipline. Now every glance was cautious. Every footstep echoed louder. The silence between voices grew heavier. It had been 16 hours since the black ship vanished. No one had slept well. Most had not slept at all. Captain Jack Voss sat alone in the ship's conference room. A tablet glowed softly in front of him, showing the same word over and over, EHO. It had appeared in their system logs, in their backups. even in their emergency protocols. No code, no virus, just the word always clean, always untouched, as if it had been written outside of their systems but was still there. Jack tapped a button and listened again to the recording they'd captured when the ship first appeared. The signal still played in perfect 5-second pulses. But now, something had changed. A faint rhythm had entered the background, like a second heartbeat, slower, deeper, almost human. A soft chime interrupted his thoughts. Captain Hara's voice came through the intercom. "We've got more crew reports coming in. You need to see this." "I'm on my way." Jack rose, taking the tablet with him. When he stepped onto the bridge, Hara looked up with worry in her eyes. The others sat in silence, even Ensign Rourke, who was usually eager and talkative. He kept rubbing his temples like something was pressing into his skull. "Status?" Jack asked. Hara handed him a report. 7 crew members have now reported symptoms. Headaches, pressure in the ears. 2 experienced brief blackouts. No clear medical cause. "Has Dr. Yell confirmed this?" "Yes. He ran every test he could. Blood, scans, neural activity. Nothing wrong. Physically, they're fine, but something's affecting them." "Visions?" Jack asked. She nodded slowly. One said he saw planets burning. Another saw a dark ocean filled with stars. They all say the same thing. It felt real. Jack read through the report silently, then asked, "What about the ship's systems?" "Still stable," replied Rourke, speaking quietly. "But there's something strange. The environmental logs are rewriting themselves. Not the actual systems, just the logs. Like someone's editing them in real time." "Someone, or something," Hara said. "We think the echo, whatever it is still inside our ship." Jack's jaw tightened. "But it's not attacking us." "No," she agreed. "It's watching, learning, and maybe showing us things." He didn't like it. No enemy attacked like this. This felt like a test, or a warning. Later in the medbay, Jack stood beside Dr. Yell. One of the affected crew, Technician Vossen, lay unconscious on a bed. He passed out during maintenance, the doctor said. No trauma, no illness, just shut down. His brain shows signs of dream state activity, but deeper, more intense than any natural sleep cycle. "Can you wake him?" Yell shook his head. "I tried. It's like he's somewhere else." Jack stepped closer. Vossen's eyes moved behind his lids. His mouth twitched, like he was speaking silently. Then, without warning, he opened his eyes. Jack leaned in. "Vossen, can you hear me?" The technician's eyes fixed on him. His voice came out slow and hollow. "Collapse begins from within." Jack's heart skipped. "What did you say?" Vossen blinked. I don't know. What happened?" "Captain, you're okay," Jack said quickly. "Just rest." But the words echoed in his mind. "Collapse begins from within." Back in his quarters, Jack sat at his desk, staring at the echo's signal again. It wasn't random. It was adapting, matching their systems, learning their language, entering their dreams, and now it was speaking through his crew. He opened a secure channel to command, but stopped. What could he say? That a ghost ship appeared, vanished, and left behind a voice in their minds. They wouldn't believe him, or worse, they would. He thought back to the order. Do not engage, investigate and report. But now the signal wasn't just something to report. It had become part of the ship, part of them. Jack leaned back, eyes closed. This wasn't a signal anymore. It was a message, and it was just beginning. The bridge of the Vigilant Star was silent, not from routine discipline but from fear. Captain Jack Voss stood at the main screen, arms crossed, jaw tight. Behind him, the crew watched their consoles with anxious eyes. Nobody spoke unless they had to. Since the strange dreams and system anomalies began, every hour had felt heavier. The echo had not left them. Jack knew it, the crew knew it, and now something had changed. "Captain," said Hara, her voice calm but tight. "Signal strength just doubled, same origin point. No visible objects, but the pattern has shifted. It's not 5 seconds anymore. Jack looked at her. How fast now? 3 seconds. Precise. Like it's counting down. Jack didn't answer. His mind raced. The last time the signal changed, the ship appeared. He turned to Rourke. Full sensor sweep. Wide angle. Already running, sir. The ship trembled slightly. Not from impact, but like a deep vibration passing through space. Everyone on the bridge felt it, though no one said a word. Then, in an instant, the black crescent appeared again. No warning, no lights, no sound. It simply was there, just like before. But this time it was closer. Much closer. Much closer. Its massive shadow stretched across the starfield, swallowing the light behind it. Its hull reflected nothing. No stars, no shape, just a void with edges. Range 100 kilometers, Rourke said, voice hushed. It's just watching us. Jack walked closer to the screen, staring into the darkness. Then, without anyone touching a thing, the comm system activated. A voice filled the bridge. It was not male or female, not loud or soft. It was like 1,000 whispers woven into one sound. The words were slow but clear. You have reached the edge of consequence. The bridge froze. Jack stepped forward. Who are you? I am Echo. I carry the memory of collapse. I have seen the end. Jack swallowed. What end? Empire expands. It consumes. Its hunger tears the threads of reality. This future must not come. Jack stared at the screen. You're warning us? Yes. The collapse spreads. From your throne of stars, destruction flows outward. You call it progress. It is decay. Hara looked up from her console. Captain, it's sending data. Jack nodded. Display it. A new window appeared on the screen. Star maps, timelines, and fragments of code rolled past. At first it looked like gibberish. Then shapes emerged. A map of the galaxy, glowing lines connecting systems. Then darkness spreading across them like ink in water. Collapse, blackouts, systems burning, planets lost. Sir, whispered Rourke. This is a model, a projection. If the Empire keeps expanding at its current rate, this is what happens. The fabric of space breaks down. Entire sectors collapse. Jack's voice was quiet. Why show us this? Because you still have time. You can choose. Truth over control. Life over power. Jack's heart pounded. And if we tell the Empire, they will erase the message. They always do. Everyone on the bridge stared at Jack, waiting. He stood tall, shoulders tight. Why now? Why reveal yourself to us? Because your thread is key. Your voice reaches far. You still have choice. This is the last moment. Then the voice stopped. The screen went black. The echo had said its part. The black ship remained in space, still and silent, waiting. Jack slowly turned to his crew. Record everything, he said. Save the data to isolated storage. I want it off the main systems. Already done, sir, said Hara. Do we tell command? Asked Rourke. Jack didn't answer right away. Then his console beeped. A new message from command had just arrived. Destroy any unknown objects. Immediate compliance required. No further analysis needed. Full silence protocol in effect. Jack stared at the words. The Empire didn't want the truth. They wanted silence. He looked up at the black ship again. It had come to warn them, not attack, not control, and now command had ordered him to erase it. He stood in silence for a long moment, then spoke softly. They don't want to be saved. Hara asked, what do we do? Jack turned to his crew. We make a choice. The air aboard the Vigilant Star felt thicker than ever, heavy with tension, heavy with decision. Captain Jack Voss stood on the bridge, staring at the new command from Imperial High Command. Destroy the unidentified object. Full compliance expected. No transmission allowed. This is a sealed order. It wasn't a suggestion. It was an ultimatum. Obey or be marked as a traitor. The Echo's warning still echoed in Jack's mind. He had seen the data, the collapse patterns, the destruction that lay ahead. The black ship, whatever it truly was, had shown him not just a future, but their future, and the Empire didn't want to hear it. Behind him, the crew waited, some confused, some afraid, some watching him closely, knowing what he was about to do would decide all their fates. Jack looked to Lieutenant Hara. Any response from the Echo ship since the last transmission? She shook her head. No movement, no signal. It's just sitting there, still within range. Yes, 80 kilometers. Target lock is available. Jack turned toward his weapons officer, Lieutenant Grady. The man looked nervous but ready. His hand hovered above the command panel. "Awaiting your order, sir." Jack didn't answer. He stepped away from the command chair and paced slowly across the bridge, thinking, "We are being told to destroy something," he said aloud. "Not because it attacked us, not because it's hostile, but because it spoke the truth." No one spoke. Jack faced them all. "We saw what it showed us. A galaxy falling apart, systems burning out, civilizations disappearing. That isn't just fear. It's data, proof. And what does the Empire say? Ignore it. Erase it." Grady cleared his throat. "Sir, if we don't follow orders—" "I know," Jack said. "We'll be hunted, marked disloyal, maybe executed." Silence followed. The weight of the Empire's shadow loomed over them, even this far out in space. But Jack said firmly, "If we follow orders, we kill the only warning we've been given, and we make sure no one else ever sees it." Roke spoke from navigation. "Sir, are you saying we go against command?" "I'm saying we decide who we are," Jack replied. He moved back to the command chair. His voice was calm now. "We're going to send the Echo's message, all of it. Broadcast it across all public relays in the outer colonies. Once it's out, the Empire can't erase it." Hara's eyes widened. "That's direct violation of the silence protocol." "I know." Grady leaned forward. "They'll come after us." "Then let them," Jack said. The crew exchanged looks, some scared, some uncertain, but no one argued. Jack gave the order. "Hara, compress all data, video, signal logs, projections. Roke, prepare long-range relays. Grady, stand down weapons. If they want to fire, they'll have to do it without us." The team moved into action. For the next few minutes, the bridge buzzed with focused urgency. Fingers tapped controls. Lights blinked. Data flowed. Then Hara said, "Transmission package ready." Jack sat forward. "Send it." With one tap, the Vigilant Star sent the Echo's warning out into the galaxy, across fringe colonies, research stations, even civilian comnets. The message would be received by thousands, maybe more. It was unstoppable now. Almost immediately, an alert came in. "Command's trying to jam us," Hara said. "But it's too late. The message is spreading." Jack let out a breath. The first step was done, but the Empire's answer came quickly. "Unidentified Imperial vessel approaching." Roke reported. "Fast. Looks like an interceptor. We're flagged." A red warning blinked on Jack's console. "Treason detected." He stood slowly, looking at his crew. "We can't outrun them forever," he said, "but we can choose what we protect." Then something strange happened. The black ship, the Echo, moved. For the first time it responded, not toward them, but toward the approaching interceptor. "Sir," Hara gasped, "it's intercepting the Empire's ship. It's putting itself in the way." On the screen, the Crescent ship glided silently toward the incoming threat. Then, with no flash, no sound, it vanished. And so did the interceptor. Gone. As if neither had ever been there. Everyone on the bridge froze. "What just happened?" whispered Grady. Jack stared at the screen. "The Echo gave us time." No one spoke. At last Jack stood tall. "We've made our choice. We told the truth. Now we disappear." "Where to?" Roke asked. Jack gave a small, tired smile. "Somewhere the Empire can't reach. Somewhere the Echo might still be listening." They turned the ship. Engines came online. The Vigilant Star faded into the stars, carrying knowledge the Empire had tried to bury. A new war had begun, not of weapons, but of truth. The stars ahead looked calm, but Captain Jack Voss knew peace was a lie in deep space. It had been 2 weeks since the Vigilant Star broadcast the Echo's warning. Since then they had moved slowly, avoiding major routes, staying silent, hiding in the shadows between star systems. Jack sat on the bridge, staring at the quiet dark through the main screen. Behind him, the crew had settled into a routine, alert but steady. The fear of being hunted still hung over them, but something had changed too. They had made a choice. They had spoken the truth. "Captain," Hara said softly from her console, "I picked up a weak signal from the colonies, fragmented, but it's our broadcast. They're sharing it." Jack leaned forward. "Are they responding?" "Not directly," she said. "But we're seeing signs. Power stations refusing military orders. Data hubs locking out Empire systems. People are listening." Jack allowed himself a quiet breath. That's all we needed. They couldn't fight the Empire with guns, but they could plant doubt. Let the message spread. Let others ask the same question he had asked the moment the Echo spoke. What if the Empire was wrong? Rourke looked up from navigation. "No ships on long-range scan. Looks like we're in the clear for now." Grady added, "Engines at full efficiency. Fuel stable. We've got time." Jack stood from the command chair. He walked to the front of the bridge and stared at the stars. Somewhere out there, the black ship still existed. Maybe waiting, maybe watching, maybe gone. But its warning remained. "Do you think it'll come back?" Rourke asked from behind. Jack didn't answer right away. "I don't think it needs to," he said finally. "It gave us what it came to give. The rest is on us." Silence followed. The crew understood. The Echo hadn't saved them. It had shown them a door. They had walked through it alone. Hara turned in her chair. "What now, Captain?" Jack thought for a moment. "Now," he said, "we keep the message alive. We find people who are willing to listen. Scientists, colonists, traders, anyone tired of being told what not to know." "We become rebels?" Grady asked with a grin. "No," Jack said. "We become messengers." Later, in his quarters, Jack sat alone. He replayed the Echo's voice one last time. That final message before the ship vanished with the Empire's interceptor. One voice can hold the line. One truth can shift the tide. Jack had repeated those words every night since. They had no base, no fleet, no protection, but they had the truth. He closed the recording and looked out his small window at the stars. Somewhere the Empire was hunting them. Somewhere the message was changing minds. Somewhere someone was asking the same questions they had once feared to speak. Jack smiled slightly. It was enough. In the dark, the vigilant star moved forward through open space, carrying with it the last warning of a forgotten intelligence, and the first hope of a galaxy waking up. Far away, in the silence between stars, a shape briefly flickered. Not a ship, not a ghost, just a presence, watching, waiting. The Echo had done its part. Now it was humanity's turn.